Hey everybody, welcome to this month's video. I know it seems like it's been forever since we did one, and I do apologize. We've just been so busy racing and trying to get stuff done with car races and NASCAR Well and Southern Modified Tour races, Bowman Gray races, not to mention just everyday life trying to get caught up. We're a little bit behind. I'm going to try to remember most of the video or most of the races, but just bear with me. Just kind of give you a little bit of detail about what happened with each one maybe. Please excuse the noise in the background. David's actually down here working today. So anyway, I think the last race, first race, however you want to say it, since we did a video, was the NASCAR Well and Southern Modified Tour race at Caraway on 4th of July weekend. I knew we had a really good car that night. We were a good race car. We couldn't make a lot of speed, but we were a good race car. We qualified about 8th, and then when we got to, I guess about 8 or 90 laps when we were going to make our pit stop, we'd gotten up to 3rd. It was just a freak thing that happened. We came in and pit, and as I came out of my pit stop, I had to cut hard right to miss the car in front of me. When I came around, another car was coming down pit road, and we collided, and it broke a steering arm in the front. It knocked us out of the race, but we were happy with the car. I think we had a car that could have won, and that's all you can ask for. So I guess the next weekend was a 100-lapper at Bowman Gray. It was the last 100-lapper of the season. Double points. It was the last leg of the Colors Edge Challenge where you go to the rear. The way that thing worked, as far as the rules were concerned, if you had already accomplished doing the challenge, then you were eligible for the end of the year money if nobody else won it. So where I kind of stood in that situation was, if I make the top 4, if I go to the rear and somebody else comes to the rear back to the front with me, I only get $3,000. If nobody gets it, I get $3,000. So that night we were in the top 4 qualifying, and I elected not to go to the rear. I think I drew about 7th. At the end of the night, we made a pass with about 3 to go for second place. Ended up second that night. So it was a good night for us as far as points were concerned. But, still wanted to win the race. But anyway, I may be missing a couple weeks here and there. But I think the next weekend at Bowman Gray, I take it back. The next weekend, on Friday night, we had a race for the Common Modified Series down in Anderson, South Carolina. Last time we went to Anderson, I feel like we had a car that could win, and our pit strategy was what kept us out of victory lane. So I wasn't going to let that happen this time. We went down, and it was some confusion with race control and the pit, and the way the situation was. We almost lost a lap in the pit. We came back out, and 90% of the field had already put in their new tire on, and we hadn't. So I got lapped. Long story short, we got the lucky dog, and were able to come through the field and ended up winning the race at Anderson for the Coleman Tour. We've run 5 races. I won 4, and Jason before 1. So the Myers, there's been a Myers in victory lane every time this year, so that's pretty cool for us. I think we're first and second in points. So hard to ask for much more than that. We came back the next night, the very next night, after getting here about 3 o'clock in the morning and switching out and then going over to Bowman Gray. That next night at Bowman Gray, excuse me, was twin 25s. Jason qualified on the pole, and I qualified second, and I was able to beat him on the start, and we finished first and second. I won, he was second. So, it was a pretty good night for us there too. Broke that long summer streak that we've had, losing streak at Bowman Gray, where we won the first 2, and then we've just been struggling a little bit since then. We're getting the car better. It's been just a little bit off this year. I'm not sure if it's just the setup that we've got under it. I've tried a bunch of different things. And the track is getting older and greasier. The tires have been sitting for a long time. So the tires are a little harder this year than normal, and that can affect your setup versus somebody else's setup. So there's a couple things that you can look at there. But all you can do is just keep trying, keep digging, and just do the best you can with it. We've had several weeks since then at Bowman Gray. We've been hanging around, the top 2 or 3 or 4 there. We haven't had another victory since then. Jason is sitting on about every pole, and he's won 5 races this year. So I've always said if I got to chase somebody, I just soon chase him. So he's having a great year this year. We're second in the points. He's third in the points. On the Coleman Tour, we're first and second in the points. And on the NASCAR Well and Southern Modified Tour, we're first and second in the points. So it would be silly for us to complain about the season that we're having down here. So I'm trying to remember here, races and here and there. I will mention that last Thursday? Has it already been 2 weeks since then? Maybe last Thursday, or it was last Thursday, I think. It was this past Thursday. Anyway, not Thursday, excuse me, Tuesday. They invited me and Chris Ferguson. Chris Ferguson is a shoe in the dirt late models. They brought me and him in to do a what they call a grudge match in the Legends cars. Lenny down at Charlotte Motor Speedway called me a month or so ago, and he said, "Have you ever drove a Legends car?" I said, "No." He said, "Good, you qualified." So that's one of the stipulations is that you, I guess, is that you've never driven a Legends car before. So me or him be the one that ever been in a Legends car. And we did like a little 10 lap, but it was supposed to be 10. I think it ended up being about 8 laps. A little head-to-head shootout. But that was really fun. Even though it was an exhibition race, it was fun to be able to do that. It gained exposure for him and for me, for the modifieds and for his series and for Charlotte Motor Speedway. So it was a win-win-win all the way around. Man, what am I missing? Oh, we did do I forgot about the go-kart race. We were invited down the North Carolina Highway Patrol to raise money for the Highway Patrol and the Caisson unit. They had a charity race down at the GoPro Motorplex down in Louisville. If you've never been there, you got to check it out. When you pull up, it looks like a road course for cars, for race cars. And it's a outdoor road course for go-karts. And it is awesome. The cool thing is, too, is it started raining. So we were like, oh man, I guess I have to go home, but not down there. Even though you got slicks on, you race in the rain. So we ran about the first 30 minutes or so of the race in the rain. Let's see, on our team, it was me and Jason, my brother Jason Tutterow, Philip Dixon, Tommy Lancaster, and David Lancaster. Is that all? Yeah, that's who was on our team. Kyle Busch Motorsports had a team there. Dale Jr. Motorsports had a team there. So we were not to mention a lot of the troopers. I think the DOT had a team there. So it was about bragging rights more than anything. I think we ended up 4th overall at the end of the day. After somebody spun out by themselves in the last leg. And trust me, they haven't let me live that down. But anyway, I was going as hard as I could, and I just overdrove it. I busted my butt. But anyway, it was, man, that thing was awesome, man. We're looking forward to doing that again next year. We're going to do what we can to promote it, to get some more recognition, to get people to help out with this cause, because the Highway Patrol, the Caisson unit, and anybody that serves as a public service, they do more than what we know. And police and troopers and those people, they're not all bad guys. There's a handful that are, but just like with everything else, that's the situation to deal with. But the majority of them, they're people, and they're here to serve us, not to hurt us. So we need to do what we can to support the Highway Patrol next year for the GoPro racing again. Man, where are we now? Let's see. Friday night, if I missed one, I'm sorry, but this past Friday night, we were at Bowling Green. It was the weekend of the NASCAR Well and Southern Modified Tour race at the stadium, so we ran Friday night for Bowling Green points. We ran twin 50s. I did miss a twin 50 there, because Jason won 2 weeks ago twin 50s. Anyway, let's see, so this past Friday night, we had twin 50s. Jason drew first and I drew 4th. At the end of the night, ended up second. Was I second? Yeah, I ended up second. Jason won and I was second. The second 50 lapper was a scramble. Jason won and drew like 16, so that basically burned the whole field. Ended up maybe, I don't even know where we ended up now, 7th, maybe 8th. But anyway, we cut some points the other week, and then we lost some back this week. I think I'm about 6 behind right now. I'm still in 2nd, and Jason's 3rd. So, like I said, it's not, it'd be silly for us to complain. We're still working, we're still digging. I think I got a couple things up my sleeve as far as changing the setup on the stadium car just a little bit to make it, just to get that little extra, because right now that's all we need. Saturday night we came over for the tour race, and I was a little bit reluctant not to take my stadium car. I'm the only modified driver who has taken his Bowling Green car to the tour race every year. Well, not that the car's not safe by any means, but there's a lot of specs in NASCAR on the tour that Bowman Gray doesn't quite enforce and quite as strict. And I don't mean to slight it at all. It's just a matter of a weekly series versus a touring series. The updates on the tethers, on your spindles on the front, just little stuff like that. I think my seat belts might be out of date by 1 month. On the NASCAR Tour, they're only good for 2 years. That doesn't mean that they're not safe. It just means that the weekly rules may not be as strict as the tour rules. So Jason had taken his LFR chassis with the spec engine over there one Saturday morning and tested it and was really happy with it. So I knew that the majority of the good cars, not all the good cars, but the majority of the good cars on the tour have gone with the spec engine now. So I knew that I'd be racing against a bunch of spec engines. So I thought, you know what? I'll just take my LFR car with the spec engine, and it would be, even though I was a little bit sad about not taking Old Faithful, I knew that this car would perform for us. And also, like I said, it made it a lot easier on us, because basically all we did is brought the truck home, unloaded one car, and loaded the other car back up, versus having to change the rear end and then make the changes to the tethers and make all those swap outs. So anyway, the tour race, we qualified, seventh? Qualified seventh, Jason was sixth. I got it in third at one point. On the tour, they do double file restarts. Now, it's not the typical double file restarts that you think about at Bowman Gray with the cone. On the tour, if you're second, you have to go out. If you're fourth, you have to go out. If you're sixth, you have to go out. It's like a cup style double file restart. And it just seemed like I got in the wrong line about every other time that there was a restart. I got up to third, I fell back to about eighth, I got back to fourth at the end of the race. The 15 car, I was really impressed how good he did. He doesn't normally run Bowman Gray. He was in Grady Jeffrey's car, and he stayed right there all night and hung in there. His left front was laid in. Jeremy's not a Bowman Gray regular, so to get in there and root the gals and to be in there and be in the top, I mean, he was in the top 5 all night. He did a great job, and he finished third, and I finished fourth. So it wasn't the finish that we were going over there to get, but I did take the point lead back. Jason had got it from me at Caraway when I had problems. Jason got jammed up, and I think finished about 10th. We were 4th, so I took the point lead back. So, like I said, I'm not satisfied, but I guess we can. I don't even know that I'm happy this time, but it's just a situation where it's you write it down in the book and do the best you can to go to the next race. So this coming weekend at Bowman Gray, we got 2025. We're down to 3 points races left for Bowman Gray, and then the following week, the 18th, 19th, I think it's the 19th maybe, is the Wednesday night that we go to Bristol. So we're looking forward to that. Man, we just got, like I said, I know I've covered a lot here, and I know this video feels like it's stretched out because I've had to cover so much because we haven't had one lately. But like I said, it's just a lot going on, and you know how we do down here. We race and race and race, and it's going to be this way until I guess about November. So thanks to everybody that came out. They had the on-track autograph session Saturday night, and me and Jason were talking about it. Man, it seemed like there were more fans down here than normal, and it did. And it's cool to see. Like I said before, you know, there's a lot of fans that come down after the race, but it's 11:30 at night. So it's cool for them to do the on-track autograph session at 6 o'clock, 6:30 or whatever, because it allows a lot of people, especially with young kids that might not can go in the pits, to come down and see us. I hope everybody's enjoyed the new Myers Brothers T-shirt. We finally got that going with the Southern Heritage look that we have. It's pretty cool for us. Man, it's just, like I said, a lot going on. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to my sponsors, Citrus Safe Cleaners, Speedway Auto Auction, Adams Towing, Budget Sales and Leasing, Howland Express, John Cleanup Supply, True Timber Camo, Mark Joyce. Mark Joyce has done he helped design the new T-shirts. Of course, Remington Sit Control Technologies, not to mention people like R80 and Pro System Brakes, Hank Thomas. And, I could go on and on and on. And I know that on Sunday you see these guys and they get out and they talk about their sponsors. And we literally couldn't make it without these people. So thank you. Not just that, but my team. Not the financial side, but the physical, mental side, spiritual side. I had a buddy, Mike Arnold, came down. He was on the mission trip to Haiti, and he's been talking about coming down. And he's up in northwest Indiana. And they've been talking about coming down, and I said, well, this will be a good weekend to come, and I don't think he was disappointed. But like I said, my team, I was talking about my support for my team and my family, these guys that follow me and go and come down here at night and swap out stuff, and racing 2 nights in the weekend, and guys that maybe cut their beach trip short to come help. So it really would be impossible for me to do this. And I know that when I win, I get to carry that flag around and my name is in the paper. If you could put an asterisk beside there and list a list, it would be this long of people that helped me accomplish that. So thank you to everybody. Please share this. As always, please comment. Let us know where you're watching these from. It's always cool to see where the different places across the country, and man, even across the world, we see some people that serve the country who are off serving and across this world. And it's cool to see where they're posting from. So thanks to everybody. Come out and see us this weekend. Mark it on your calendars for Bristol, because I feel really good about this year. We've had some good luck and bad luck. I feel like it's our turn. I feel like that Bristol owes us one. So hopefully it's coming up for us. So thanks to everybody. Come out and see us. God bless you.